for taking your time to chat with us.
Absolutely.
This has been a big season so far. I mean, what kind of scoop or insight did they give you when you were coming into the new season?
Well, I didn't actually find this out in the first episode, which actually was the second episode. We shot the second episode before we shot the first episode. I feel like nobody knows that. And that's a crazy thing that we did. No, this year, we kind of have themes every season. One season was reform, and this season is home. These guys trying to make themselves better lives outside of work, and so coming in and having that kind of described to me has really influenced, how I approach the scenes this year, how I approach the character this year. And I think you're just going to keep feeling that hammered home. You know what I mean? This idea that they're trying to develop themselves outside of the unit, while still, being the best cops that they can, and while still taking care of each other.
Well, Voight and Haley took care of Kim's kidnapper.
Yes.
Will Adam become aware of their actions?
I'm guessing that at some point that'll all come to light. I haven't seen it in the script yet. Spoiler alert.
Well, how will Adam's newfound role as Michaela's guardian then affect his police work? I mean, he has to be a bit on edge, feeling kind of cautious after seeing how it affected Michaela so much when Kim got hurt.
Right. And I think that just even for him personally, he's got more to live for. He's got more to go home to. And I do think it affects. I mean, I don't think he's gonna slow down trying to police the way that he thinks is the right way to police. But I think you're going to see him in situations where things get hairy and he's less bold. He's a little more scared because he's got more to lose. And like you said, I think he feels entirely protective of this young woman, this young kid. And, he doesn't want to add to her trauma. Her trauma and her loss. And so I think you will see him make different decisions or react in situations a little differently than he normally would. Again, less bold and more thoughtful and careful and worried.
We were worried about, though, also that Ruzek and Atwater's friendship, at the end of last season, you guys had that big rift. Is there anything is everything all good between you guys now? Or are you guys just having some lingering tensions?
I have a feeling that they'll dive into that at some point this season. I haven't seen the script yet. It's always hard to predict just because they don't tell us much. We kind of get the scripts as we get them. And, to me, bob and weave as we're given something to bob and weave with. But I think that at the end of the day, this isn't the first time that they've had conflict over some of this kind of stuff. I think that they are close enough to where they have these tough conversations about race, about policing. I think that they continue to give Royce and I the content because he and I are so close, and we're able to kind of, off camera, offset, kind of talk to each other and work out how best to approach it. So you're having a thoughtful kind of gray area conversation rather than it be black and white, someone's right, someone's wrong. No, it's a difficult ongoing conversation. So that's it. It's an ongoing conversation that I think they're going to continue to have. But, I think they're also, there are a couple of dudes that get shot at on the regular. And so they don't sweat the small stuff, they maybe take a swing at each other. It's like brothers, you know what I mean? Like if me and my brother fight, it's just like the next day I'll come and like you know, give him a plate of bacon and be like, "Hey man, I made you some bacon," you know, and like that's the apology. You know what I mean? We don't have to sit there and get into the doldrums and really kind of rehash what happened. And it's just more like, you know, I come into the hospital and he says she's still in surgery, and then he's asked if I'm okay. I think that's what happened. I'm sorry. I can't remember anything anymore.
You
Move
film a
so
lot.
quick that I totally forget what happens episode to episode. But you know, he does say, you know, are you doing good? And I think that's he's saying, are you doing good? But I think he's saying, hey man, sorry. And my response is like, me too. You know,
Right.
without actually saying those words. I think just our energy towards each other. This is a really long-winded answer. I'm sorry.
Well, you and Leroyce are such good pals off screen and in real life. What was it like for you guys to film that fight scene?
It's really not fun. It's not. It's you got to go there a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you gotta find that frustration with your friend. And I will say though that, you know, because he and I are close like we are, we're 100% here. You know, how you doing? You okay? And we talk like that, but we also kind of had to stay away from one another because I don't know, I can't be mad at the guy in my normal life, and I can't not goof around with him. So kind of it's not great. It's not fun. I don't know. I'd almost rather have conflict with anybody else in that cast than Leroyce. It's not easy. Excuse me.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you know, the fans of Ruzek, because that's quite a big ship fandom for the series.
Yeah, no, I just did another interview where she said that's like the only original couple in the whole One Chicago universe. I'm like, oh shoot, that's true. I didn't even think about it like that. So I guess we're doing something right. We're doing something. It's weird, but I think we're doing something right. Yeah.
Where do things stand between the two of them? I mean, you know, the kidnapping kind of help or harm bring them together a little bit?
I mean, I think if anything, it showed him what's important. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I can't imagine either of them trying to date somebody else, but they're not together. You know what I mean? So it's kind of this, I love it. It's like this really adult, very strange for network TV relationship that is not one thing, it's not another. You know, sometimes they have a few drinks and they get intimate. You know, sometimes they, you know, he sleeps on the couch. Sometimes he goes. I don't know. It's really fun to play something that is neither here nor there. You know?
That's a very good way to put it. That is a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
What are some episodes that really stand out for you this season that fans should maybe keep an eye out for? Obviously, the premiere was bananas. Are there any other episodes that really so far, to your recollection?
You know what? Gosh, I think it's episode 5. Royce really takes a front seat, and he meets a young woman that, as far as I could tell, came in and just absolutely killed it, and you know, starts to develop a relationship with her. She's not a fan of cops, so he plays his job a little close to the vest. I don't know. I'm excited to see Royce see Atwater have a little action. You know what I mean? Like, come on. This is a suave, handsome man. We need to give him a gal to hang out with at some point, for God's sake. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that one. It felt really good. I know how hard he worked on it, so I think that's going to be a killer episode.
What have been some of your personal and favorite scenes to films throughout the years?
Man, I mean, we don't do a lot of comedy anymore. which I'm okay with. I think it's a little better to be kind of a little more, we take ourselves a little more seriously than we used to, maybe season 1 through 5. And I like that. I like the tone of that. But, it was always fun filming. We did this scene where we were like doing taser training. And for whatever reason, like cops get tased. You
Right.
have to get tased before you're allowed to hold a taser and like carry one with you, which is crazy. And, it was just, a lot of laughs that day. And it was fun to try and figure out how to make that funny. I'm not like Marina, Amy Morton. These people are like great comedic actors. I am not. Royce is like an incredible comedic actor. I'm not at all. And so like trying to unlock how to play it subtle, but at the same time, maybe make it funny was kind of a fun, combination to try and figure out.
What do you think it is about Chicago PD that continues to make it such a consistently favorite series?
I mean, Dick Wolf he's just figured it out. He's kind of got this formula, you know what I mean? I think that I will tell you this, the crew and the actors are intensely committed to making it a great show, which has been really what a blessing. Like after 9 years, I know from working in the industry for a while and from having friends that work in the industry that, after a couple of years, people can start to take a step back and they focus on other aspects of their life and maybe not, how do I say it? Just, it's easy to get
Just
lazy.
step back a little. Yeah.
Yeah, sit back a little. And, with it's a job at the end of the day. So it's not, there's nothing wrong with being like, okay, I got to like take care of my own life and take care of the job, but maybe this hasn't happened with us. I mean, our crew, the cast, just everybody shows up ready to work. The writer's room, the producers, the director, it's an exciting, it's always exciting. And we have guest stars come on and directors come on that are like, wow, you guys are you're still so excited. And we're like, yeah, of course we are. And I think that that's a big part of it, but also, I'll throw it back to Mr. Wolf. He's kind of got a formula figured out that allows us to tell personal stories, but kind of tell a story of the week, a case of the week. And it's easy to jump in and out of. And, but you've also got these characters that I think people feel close to,